What it do? This is Taylor. And thank you so much for your patience, those in the live chat. I hope you're ready for this upcoming and impending Uranus retrograde, which seems to already be stationed in retrograde now. Oh, I see what the issue is. Okay, so this is going off this weekly transit. All right. So yeah, Uranus actually is already retrograde as we do this. Regardless, what's up, y'all? Thank y'all for being patient once again. I'm seeing synchronicities. I know I'm not the only one seeing synchronicities off the wazoo. Just for this broadcast, I'm going to hold off on the super chat, okay? So for those of you who want to donate on the super chat donations, I won't be pulling cards. In future broadcasts, I will be pulling cards. You can still chat, donate out of the kindness of your heart. I totally appreciate that. But just so you know right now, because after this broadcast, I'm going to get jiggy. I'm just joking. No, I'm going to really experience this Epiphany city. But keep that in mind. I call this Epiphany city because a lot of what Uranus has done while it's gone direct was to prepare your conscious awareness of, oh, that's amazing, how much of your conscious awareness has kind of allowed you to evolve how you see yourself. And it's a real city. I've been there. Shout out to Pisces Priestess. Keep this in mind, because when you're so busy evolving, when you're so busy growing bigger and gaining a higher, conscious awareness, then you may not really be so keyed into, what's up, D? You may not really be so keyed into profoundly how all of this applies to you. When you're so busy growing and evolving, you may not realize you grew that much until you have something to, compare it to, until you have some kind of reference point. Just like you don't really notice that you might have grown a couple inches or centimeters tall until you have to measure it again. So this Uranus retrograde is a transit of really measuring how much you've grown. And it starts today, all right? Tomorrow, it's going to station, although it's kind of already retrograde now, especially if you look at the Planet Watcher, right? But, okay, that's why. Probably in overseas, it's already there. But it's going to go direct on a certain person's birthday who they swear, I forgot their birthday. It's all good, even though I kind of did. January 2nd, 2018. So we have September, October, November, December, January. 5 months. Sorry for your loss, Lisa. And yeah, my friend, we have 5 months of this retrograde motion that will very powerfully show us how much we've grown. And you're going to be put in situations that allow you to really see how you would not have acted in this way before the evolution. Oh shit. I just broke some plastic. But yeah, you know what I mean? You want to keep this in mind. There are going to be situations you're placed in with this retrograde that revisit old obstacles you have had. And you want to see how you've grown, because you'll find that they're not as much as obstacles for you anymore. And it'll have a lot to do with how you identify yourself. So people with Uranus retrograde in their chart, are going to experience this a little bit different than people who have Uranus direct. Although I will just say, based in the chart, there really isn't that much of a difference. If you have Uranus retrograde, doesn't matter what sign it's in, it just means you're that much more crazy. All right? People who were probably seen as weird, or, and I don't mean like they're being gaslighted, I mean like they're pretty weird. Like I'm one of those people, like I'm pretty weird, and I'm proud of it, by the way. I own that shit. Like I'm different. I'm not really the same. They usually have Neptune or Uranus retrograde. Like these are the kooks, the genius kooks, but they're you know what I mean? That's really the only difference. Other than that, you're still both crazy. So if you have a Uranus direct, you're still a crazy ass motherfucker too. Let's just be real. You stupid crazy as well. It's just our Uranus retro people are even that much more crazy. All right. So that's really the only difference. And for the Uranus retro people, it's just going to highlight for if you have Uranus retrograde in your chart natally, you're going to be so disappointed, because it's going to be, because you know how people will look at you like you're weird, but then you look at them like you guys are so basic, like you're not weird enough. Like that's why this conflict goes on. Like there's people who either think you're weird, or you look at them like, can you be weirder? Like why are you too normal? So you're going to be disappointed, because Uranus is going to use you, because you have Uranus retrograde in your chart. It's going to use you so that you can inspire others to be more weird. That's what the Epiphany is. The Epiphany is, oh my gosh, the less normal I am, the more I tap into spirituality. Because you can't get to Neptune until you get past Uranus. This is just facts. Like you cannot get to Pisces until you get past Aquarius. And a system needs to be set in place so that you are not in a position to free yourself. So with the advent of not religion, see, y'all got religion fucked up. Y'all think that religion is bad. No, religion is actually good when used right. A lot of what you think is religion, Christianity, Islam, I dare even say the Judeo practice, like those are programs, okay? I really need you to understand there have been certain programs that have been set in place since the Inquisition times to keep you dumbed down and to keep you chained, all right? Sexuality is your key to ascension, but you have all this propaganda, and it's not even just those religions. The New Age movement, New Age Satanism, which is different from spiritual Satanism, all right? The New Age movement, you have certain yogic practices that have been corrupted. A lot's been corrupted to like remind you that, to help you forget that you're just supposed to live and be married, like for real, okay? So keep in mind everything that is around your stimuli, whether it's a religion, whether it's a family member, whether it's a thought that makes you feel guilty. Trust me, they say that. So do you want to know what the biggest lies is? One of the biggest lies is that celibacy helps you grow spiritually. Celibacy is bad for you. Celibacy is bad for you. I'm going to say this one more time. Celibacy is not good. All right? If you suppress yourself sexually, that's a bad thing. All right? For real. Even the whole notion of having sex after marriage, that's not really as wise as I thought as well. I mean, I wouldn't oppose it, but keep that in mind. Don't have sex with random people, okay? So if by not being celibate to you, that means that you're just supposed to have sex with whoever you want, that's not good as well, all right? That's what Saturn and Scorpio was in for. Saturn and Scorpio was saying you have to have the responsibility to express your sexual energy with people you trust. Masturbation is healthy, all right? I mean, remember now, everything in moderation. So if you're masturbating like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that may not be good because it's not moderate. It's not in moderation, all right? If you're having sex with just random people, that's not because sex is bad. That's because your ass has no self-control and you don't have discernment. But that doesn't make the act of sex bad. When you have sex, it's what stokes the Kundalini fire within you. The Catholic Church had to make sure that people weren't having sex because you have people ascending. You have people actually being able to harness their superpowers because people were having healthy sex with tantric partners. But until we realize sex is bad, sex is evil, you know what I'm saying? That closed what? Your sacral chakra. You have the right to have sex with whoever you want, whenever you want. You want to know what another lie? And this has everything to do with Uranus retrograde, because this is that Epiphany city. Like, holy shit, all these lies, they're even more of lies. You know what else is a lie? This whole how do I say it? This whole like super veganism thing, all right? If you're a vegetarian, if you're a vegan, you have great self-control. But you want to make sure you don't cross the boundary to where you feel like that is the absolute. Because you are allowed to eat whatever the hell you want. Now, as far as whether it's humanely slaughtered, that's different. If you're going to eat meat that's been processed, and the meat that's been processed has been tortured and has been like so horribly made, that's bad karma on you. You're eating all that stress. If you're humanely eating meat, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's it. So just know that all these restrictions are made to close your chakras. All right? And a lot of you are stepping into your own religion. Religion is a way of life. That's it. Religion is the ninth house. It's the way of life. That's it. I personally, I'm gonna eat less meat. I'm gonna try and eat more vegetables, because whether veganism is right or not, if you have vegetables in your diet, you can never go wrong with that. You can never go wrong with that. It is what it is. And you can humanely kill something, because at the end of the day, that's the cycle of life. There's this illusion here that has something about preservation or trying to live immortally, you know what I'm saying? There's living things in plants, there's living things in animals. Other animals, it's part of the food chain. You yourself, you get devoured by higher beings. So you can't really just try and fuck up the food chain like that. If lions stopped eating other people in the ecosystem, it would screw everything up. If like deers did not get eaten anymore, you know what I'm saying? So it's not really like the number one reason why, you know what I'm saying? But don't let anybody make you feel guilty because you are eating naturally what you eat. What you should feel guilty of is if you're letting your meat eating, or if you're letting anything you eat start to ruin your own health. Moderation, my friends, moderation. So let me not tell you what you're supposed to do. I'm just here to let you know it's Epiphany City, yo. There's so many things that you've been doing that you're made to feel is wrong, not because it's wrong, just to block you. And this is what Uranus is all about. All right. Q Madkick said death is a human construct. There's no such thing as death. There's only passing on. When you die, you know what I'm saying, and you move on, your spirit is still going to exist. And whether you reincarnate, whether you get screwed up by watchers who try and steal your soul, because let me tell you something, there are aliens, there are extraterrestrials who prey on souls who believe in Jesus, who prey on souls who believe in some religion, because those are the souls that are going to be obedient for them to take to like kidnap. All right. If you think that you're going to go to hell or heaven when you die, an extraterrestrial is going to see your soul and like play you. It's that simple. That's why witches and wizards, people who are versed in black magic, once they die, it's really hard to fuck with them. In fact, if they come back with a vengeance, those are the two types of ghosts. Those are the two types of ghosts. There are two types of ghosts. A ghost, and we're going to get back to the sex. Trust me. I know someone just asked that. There are two types of ghosts. All right. The first type of ghost, first of all, a ghost is someone who has lingering attachment. So when the full moon came, they did not pass on to the other life and they just decided to stay. Most ghosts, the first type, they're not really that harmful. They're usually here because they want to take care of somebody. They want to relay a message to their uncle or their son that they haven't been able to say, so they're looking for a psychic who can translate it, all right? Or they're territorial. They just have something tying them down here. That's why when I fully awaken, I'm gonna go on my exorcist path. Like, I'm gonna go on the Great Purge. I'm gonna walk around the whole world, every home, every place that has like spirits that haven't passed on. I'm gonna be that soul reaper. I'm gonna take my Zanpak toe and I'm gonna pass them on, and I'm gonna slay some motherfucking hollows, like straight up. And then you have the second type of ghost. You have the ghost that was a culandera. You have a ghost that was a witch, a wizard before they died. And so now they have a powerful ass aura. They know what to do after death because they were also summoning spirits. And yeah, all right. So the reason why I'm saying Epiphany City is you're about to realize things about yourself you have always known, but you have repeatedly been lied to. The peace dealer needs to ask you a question. Are you going to believe in yourself? Are you going to believe in these people who swear they know what's up, but they're here to learn from you? Because you didn't need to watch that YouTube video, to read that article. You already knew. It came as confirmation for you. You have to remember, some of you guys are here to lead this new age, and you have to stop giving the dark force the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? And playing you. You have to take your own unique spark of consciousness and express that. Shout out to Jay Leaves, who believes in himself. You need to really express that because you are all you have, and this is not going to be easy. All right? Brianne Mendez says, how do I explain to someone who believes in sexual suppression that it's bad for them? Good question. Sexual suppression is the worst. Sexual suppression is the reason why we're stunted. Our Kundalini serpents have been dormant in our root chakra because guilt and shame closes those first two, and people have not mastered the lower body of their chakras. Guilt and James White, I still need to watch JoJo Bizarre, I'm sorry. But yeah, guilt and shame, it doesn't matter. Some of you think you're pros, you don't know you're being suppressed too. Like, from birth, you are suppressed. When your parents tell you that you're not supposed to have sex, which is not bad, because if I had a daughter, I'd be damned if she tell me she about to have sex. I'll be like, girl, sit your ass down. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, it is what it is. Like, you have been systematically suppressed. And then on top of that, you're also being programmed with hypersexual images to use your sexuality irresponsibly. So you're getting hit by both places. And you, trust me, sex, healthy sex is normal. Every single human being needs a healthy sex life. Ask anybody who is depressed in life. Do they have a healthy sex life? Probably not. An active sex life stimulates your Kundalini fire. And I'm not just saying, and if you're having sex with random people, that's not going to do it. An active sex life. All right? Elizabeth said, what about child molestation? You know what I'm saying? But I don't really see how that's totally different. It's not a contradiction. Anyone who's been molested or raped, that's totally different because that's an external influence that's traumatically stopping them from having sex. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about you who has not been raped or who has not been molested, unless you have, and that's an issue. That's totally different from suppressing yourself. That's actually a traumatic experience that needs to be healed from. So I'm not really talking about those people. That should kind of be obvious though. But I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about people who actually have the opportunity to open up their sexuality. I've actually dealt with somebody. Oh, Elizabeth, yeah, the contradiction is me stopping my daughter. I just said that right now. You're totally right. Yeah, no, I would stop my daughter because that's a contradiction on my part because I'm a Gemini and I say things and do the other. But that was a joke. You took me serious right now. That was a joke. I was just saying that. But yes, soul sex is necessary. Like, do you guys think you're crazy? And I don't want to make this just about sex, but this is why I'm talking about Uranus. It ties in, trust me. Soul sex is so so important. You're not going crazy when you don't have, the reason why you go crazy when you don't have sex is because your sacral chakra needs that yin yang fusion. So, you know what I'm saying? Don't think that there's a problem with you. Don't think that a lot of people out here are having soul sex. This is a generational problem. So generational, Pluto had to return in Scorpio. All right? So really keep that in mind. And it's not about sex, it's about Uranus. Really keep that in mind, though. You know your root or sacral chakra is closed if you think about sex and you think about sexually expressing yourself and you feel guilt. If you feel shame and you feel guilt, then I'm talking about you want to have sex with someone and you instinctually feel guilt or shame when you hear a voice, is closed. Okay, so trust me, this is something a majority of people around the world have. So it's not just you. Majority of people around the world have this issue, whether they've been molested, which is a huge deal. All right, that's a different story. That needs to be its own video because there needs to be special healing for people. And I know somebody who you can't really touch her because she's been molested. You know what I'm saying? So she feels weird. That's fucked up. I'm talking about, though, people who went through that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the rape survivors in the building who inspire others to still feel powerful. Words can't express how amazing y'all are. This is why this is such a dark, you know what I'm saying, chapter. But you really have to actively, this is what Mars, the planet of sex, screw these astrologers who sugarcoat this because they have older audiences and they don't want to offend people. Mars is sex. I don't care what anyone says. Mars is sex and anger, and that's it. And the sun is here. You have to be aware of how you bring your heart into sex, okay? Brianne Mendez, as far as how to heal from rape, I have to make that a separate video. It would be disrespectful of me to just kind of say 2 or 5 sentences or speak on it for 10 minutes. I really want to make that its own special vid because it's too big a problem. But honestly, like are you actively doing something about your sex life, or are you in your room sulking, being like, no one's breaking into my door and sliding in my DMs to have sex with me? What's happening? No, you're being empowered to actually do. Look, let me tell you something. If you want to know where the sexual revolution is going to come from, it's going to come from our generation. Pluto and Scorpio. We're the ones who are going to change it. That means there's no one who can teach you. There's no one who can show you. You have to do it yourself. Masturbation is a tantric technique that you could use. If you're just jacking off just to climax, you're wasting your life force. If you're masturbating because you're trying to build your energy and do something about it, it's all in your intent. What are you using it for? But the reason why I'm talking about sex so much and how taboo it is because this has everything to do, even if you don't have a problem having sex, how is your sex life? How are you allowing this to express who you are? Are you using sex to escape? Do you have sex? If you have no sex, this is the problem why your spirituality is low. I promise you, you don't need me to prove this to you. You feel this deep inside yourself, all right? I have a dry spell. That's why my energy has been low. And I'm not just going to find random people to have sex with. I'm going to, of course, that's why Libra is before Scorpio. You have to have a partnership before you actually have deep, intimate sex, right? But it is what it is. Well, I mean, that's counterintuitive. Who doesn't want sex? That's kind of weird to say. But yeah, regardless, like, I'm not just going to find, and I'm using myself as an example. You should use yourself too. You're not just going to find someone random to have sex with. You're going to find a partner, a sexual partner. Healthy sex, you have at least, and this is low. This is really low, all right? At least 3 times a week, and that's still a low number. If you're doing that ritual I spoke on, then you're going to do it at least once a day. And you're not just going to be having sex so that it's just for the pleasure. You have to remember it's a sacred practice, and it is also a tantric practice. Sex is what allows, that's the whole part of the Lover's card. The Lover's card isn't just, Yay, we're in love, we're having sex. The Lover's card is sacred. It's the symbolism between the feminine and the masculine becoming unified. So that, like the sun and moon that eclipse, you can gain greater power. All right? So it is what it is. Uranus is revolutionizing how we see ourselves, and this is going to really bring a lot of courage. All right. If you're single, that's no excuse. Like, there's really no excuse. If you're single and you're actively searching, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying to like go look for sex, but if you're co-creating it, because let me tell you something, there are people who are co-creating sexual experiences where they're not praying for sex, but they're praying for a partner they can connect with. And they're putting themselves out there, you know what I'm saying? And they're at least allowing themselves to be open. If you're single, then that's really no excuse, because now you have there's 7 billion people in the world. There's no excuse to be single. You hear this from me. There are 7 billion plus people in the world. For you not to find one, you're either way too picky or you're not trying and you're waiting for it to fall on your lap. And you need to stop acting like when you don't truly want something, it don't come. I'm not saying that finding a good relationship partner is easy. I'm just saying being single is no excuse when there are literally billions of people in the world, and there's so many people who probably slide in your DMs. And you have to be picky. Like, that's it. You cannot say there's no opportunity for you. If you know your worth and you're gonna wait for somebody, that's good, but then stop complaining that you're single. So you cannot be picky and wait and complain that you're single. I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? I'd like, funny vow, I'd rather have no sex than bad sex. But if you out here not trying, if you out here not actually trying to put yourself out there and open up for it, then, or if you like being single, that's on you. And this is all what Uranus retrograde is trying to teach you. This is in Aries, 28 degrees. What are you trying to do for your own life? It's going to go direct on January at 24 degrees. And what I'm trying to encourage you to do is, this is squaring Pluto and Capricorn. So I really need you to understand, while it's also squaring Venus and Cancer, the key to breaking through, this is a breakthrough transit. The key to breaking through is to acknowledge that there are some traditions that work, that you still have to, or don't work, that you have to still break past, because this is now about how you are uniquely engaging with this, all right? I got you, Mocha Magic. Yeah, it wouldn't be fair to just like lightly talk about it in this video. But Daisy, I had to catch myself. Okay, whatever. But yeah, it's so interesting. I'm gonna start doing Kundalini yoga as well. For those of you who are asexual and you swear you are not all about sex, Kundalini yoga is a really great alternative that you could also supplement with it. I'm just going to tell you right now, you should never have sex with someone you don't have feelings or a heart connection for, but don't make it seem like this is hard. It's actually not hard to find a good connection. Chances are you're not putting yourself out there. Chances are you're waiting for it to come to you. Chances are you don't want to leave your comfort zone. Do you know why I say that? Every single person I know who leaves their comfort zone, who does the spiritual work, who puts themselves out there, who actually actively seeks, within a lunar cycle, they find a partner. Every single person, within that, they find a partner. So it's no excuse, all right? You owe it to yourself to walk your spiritual path. It's really, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Everything else is just an excuse that your mind is putting up to further reinforce why you can't do what you can't do. Lilith is not asexual. Lilith is mad sexual. So I'm glad someone caught that. But I'm telling you this, you don't think that I'm going sex crazy. Uranus is retrograding while Lilith is in Sagittarius. So sex has a whole lot to do with this. And think about how immature most people get when you talk about sex. When you talk about sex, Aries is a very sexual energy. Aries is kind of ruled by Mars, sex. That's why they're one of the most sexy signs ever. That's why when some people ask, what do you want to do? And all they want to do is sex, that doesn't mean they're too sexual. That means that's an actual, you know what I'm saying? Like Mars and Aries knows what's up too. Like, why do I want to go hiking with you? Why do I want to talk to you? We can just have sex right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's our language. It is what it is. But you really, and let sex, Uranus isn't always a sexual planet, but I'm talking about sex, but let sex be symbolic or represent everything that's taboo in your life, really, okay? Because some of you have the chance to evolve and just go full out spiritual, but you're worried that your neighbors will think you're weird. You're worried that your friends won't understand. And Uranus and Aries is trying to let you be the trendsetter. You're the person who's supposed to go first. You know what I'm saying? It's still a spiritual exchange, Miss Kiki, because what makes it a spiritual exchange is your intent, okay? It's really important because you want to take responsibility with this energy. I'm only going to say this one more time because there's not a lot of seriousness. Whenever you talk about sex, you either get this, oh, it's taboo, or yes, I want to have sex. And the right middle point is it has to be something serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, having sex is like a nuclear bomb. Especially if it's with someone random. That's like having sex with a random person is like playing roulette with your life. It's like gambling. So if you don't want to take what I'm saying seriously, that's straight. But for those of you who are really listening to me right now, you really owe it to yourself to take sex seriously. And taking sex seriously could be going 6 months without sex, but really meditating on the sexual life that you want. And then you actually act on it. So respect sex, you know what I'm saying? Before you even like go into the sex, try and find you a partner. Or, you know what's even better these days? A friend with benefits. The only thing better than a romantic partner who you can have sex with is a friend who you trust, who you can have sex with, and you still don't have strings attached. That's spiritual too. Don't think that just because you're not, oh, we're together forever. That's something that most people, in fact, some of you, before you get with someone, you probably have to be their friend with benefits so that you sexually can, you know, connect first. So don't let that go out the way. The only reason why friend with benefits don't work sometimes is because people don't have the right intention. People from the beginning don't have the intention to treat that person like a friend. If that person was really your friend, okay. The reason why it doesn't work for many people is because of the clinginess, the attachment that eventually comes in. But just because someone doesn't have good control doesn't mean that it doesn't work. Just because most people get divorced doesn't mean marriage doesn't work. This is all individual, you know what I'm saying? So friends with benefits has gotten corrupted too, because people think that friends with benefits is just using your friend for sex. That's not really it. You have to listen to what I said. Like, this is your friend. But we're in a generation where people aren't truly friends to each other. Friends are someone that you use these days. Friends aren't someone that you actually check in on. That's why I was saying in a perfect society, friends have sex with each other. And it's nothing. But to most of you, you're like, what? I have sex with my friends? That's because they're not truly your friends. You know what I'm saying? It's sad how sexually disconnected humanity has become. Thank you, Pisces priestess. So to the fact that when you speak of sex, it's either taboo or it's either just something that's excitable, but it's something very serious. Oh my God. A true friend with benefits would never expect sex from them. Thank you, Paul Diddy. It's just something that would happen. It's just nothing that you would stop. And you won't be, oh, we're friends, I can't have sex. No, if you are truly friends with someone, you would have sex with them. I swear. This is why we're not humanity. Humanity isn't even up there yet. Aquarius is friendship. Scorpio is sex. Leo is sex. It's all linked. If you are truly friends with someone, you will have sex, even if it's not physical intercourse. Because sex is a part and parcel of life, and I don't even mean just physically. So why am I talking about sex so much? Why am I talking about sex so much? There is a sexual revolution that is brewing. This sexual revolution has less to do about the physical intercourse you have and more to do about the sexuality that you're comfortable in, to where you are not inhibited when it comes to expressing your love for someone who you connect with. Not for someone you want to force your sex on, not for someone you want to manipulate in a relationship with sex, but for someone who you want to connect to the divine to through the act. You have different types of people who actually treat sex, like when you say sex, do you get physically aroused and that's it? Or do you acknowledge that it is spiritual? Because a lot of people don't know it's spiritual. They haven't been taught it. They really don't know. They think it's just like some woo-woo. They think all the writing from East Asia, Far East, that have been implementing this is just some Kama Sutra BS. And you don't know that's your key. That is your key. Some of you are wondering, how am I going to ascend? How am I going to evolve? Have you had sex with the right partner? Have you had discipline, right sex? What's your sex life like? Why do you think Scorpio is transformation with the 8th house? Come on, y'all. So Uranus retrograde is going to really show you and others how radical you are for yourself. The hard work is over. The hard work was when Uranus went direct. Now it's going retrograde, and it's going to show you how much you've evolved. It's not only going to show you how much you've evolved, but it's also going to show you what you can do with the energy should you be in a position to express this evolution of yourself. And if you do it right, it should scare you, because you're really going to step forward into energy that brings out your radical self. Everyone has a radical self right now. Some of you are really, 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 really suppressing it. And others of you aren't embracing it enough. You know what I'm saying? So for those of you who want to preserve your energy so you don't connect with the wrong person, whether through communication, whether through sex, that's wise. Are you using that as an excuse to not connect with everyone? Because some of you are using the excuse of, I don't want to find the wrong person, to not really find anyone. And then that's just like your excuse. So I'm just letting you know, I have now told you the answer. Like, I have now told you the answer. If you in order for you to access your crown chakra, you need to activate that root. You need to activate that serpent in the base of your chakra. And the only way to activate that is some good ass sex. That's all I'm gonna say. And unfortunately, you're not gonna find that good ass sex with anybody. So you gotta make sure you co-create the right spiritual partner with the universe. And some of you, you're already in relationships. You're not having enough sex. You need to go back into your relationship and try and like use sex to help work that out, because that's how it's going to work out. And the reason why it's going to work out is the intimacy required and needed so that you're actually in a position to regain that. Is it easy? Nope. Probably going to be one of the harder things you have to do, but nothing great in life is easy. So it is what it is. All right. That being said, once again, Uranus retrograde, I'm not here to tell you some bullshit about, oh, this is going to help you review a whole lot of how you've been radically changing yourself. This is not about, you know what I'm saying, being rebellious and finding stuff out. No, Uranus retrograde is very simple. How real are you? Why do you think I just spent the first 40 minutes talking about sex? Because that's raw. That's real. That's what's on most people's minds. That's Aries, okay? Aries does not give a damn about being politically correct. That's Libra. Libra cares about that shit. Aries does not give a damn about refining the expression. Aries is raw. Aries is, this is what I feel, this is how I say it. That's why it crosses those. If you only had Aries, you'd be just running red lights because it's like, screw this. I don't need to follow the rules, and then you get hit by a car. Capricorn, enforcing the rules. But Uranus and Aries retrograde right now, the reason why it's Epiphany City is because you're going to be put in situations where your radical self comes out, and now you're going to be like, oh, I was lied to. I am powerful. Oh, killer skitch. Yes, a lot of you have pent up energy. A lot of you have pent up energy since birth. So when you finally release that, it could be dangerous. Still necessary, but yeah, there's a lot of suppressed energy a lot of people have. And trust me, this whole sexual issue is generational. I'm talking about people since the 60s, when religion, like these fake religions came and screwed everything up so that they can keep you in fear. The Vatican is still out here enslaving people. The Catholic Church came out here like a gangster and just decided to syncretize all the religions so that there could be one God, which is not just one God, and so that we can just worship and psychically be depleted of our energy. Screw all these made up stories just meant to chain you down, all right? Which are all symbolic, but they have places geographically like placed to siphon your energy. Don't get played. Uranus and Aries is trying to break you free of old rules. And the only religion that you should have is the religion of your own heart. This does not mean it's the right religion. This is the religion that you're going to move forward with before Saturn and Sagittarius starts to really enlighten and show you the right way to go. That's the whole purpose of Saturn trining this Uranus retrograde. And now that Uranus retrograde is trining Saturn retrograde, this is going to be very potent and powerful so that you're in a great position to very accurately and powerfully uncover the greater meaning of why you're here. So really, thank you, Apollo. The reason why it's one of my best channelings right now, the reason why Apollo said this is one of my best channelings, because I'm not holding myself back. I'm not really trying to like not offend someone. I just gotta tell y'all the truth. And listen, some of you may feel cheated because some of you are just like, I don't want to say nerds because I consider myself a otaku or a weeaboo nerd, you know what I'm saying? But some of you are just so fixed on details. And it's like, what does this have to do with Uranus retrograde? What does this have to do in Uranus retrograde? What does this have to do with the transits? What does Uranus retrograde squaring this have to mean? If you're so caught up on that, you don't understand astrology. You don't understand astrology. You think astrology is some textbook thing where it's like, all right, this is going to try and this. The transits are supplementary. Do you want to understand Uranus retrograde? Sex. That's why I've been talking about sex for 40 minutes. Sex. Sex. Sorry for the screaming, Lisa. Sex. All right. I'm not really trying to, and this is uncomfortable for some of you. So that's why I have to talk about it. Some of you get cringed when I talk about sex. So I have to talk about this because this is not something I can let you just suppress. This is something you have to realistically open your mind up to and transform how you express this in a post-World War II world where so many people believe they can be whoever they want, where so many people now have to redefine our boundaries. You really need to open yourself up. Like, the reason why some of you don't even like feel this whole sex convo is because it revisits certain memories. Thank you. I shouldn't be apologizing, but it revisits certain like memories within you. And just really keep this in mind. Are you going to allow this to hold you back and make you chained down? Or are you going to liberate yourself? Trust me, just because I talk about sex, you don't really even need to think about physical intercourse. You want to think about the sexual exchange between masculine and feminine energies that happens way before you even meet someone in bed. Going to say this one more time. What is your attitude towards sex? Is sex just something that's convenient for you? Is sex just something that you do when you're horny and you want to get off? That's not true sex. Is sex sacred? Is this a sacred act that you connect with people to? Some people are hearing me. Some people are not hearing me. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Some of you have no idea what sex truly is. So that's why I'm trying to educate y'all. It is what it is. But for those of you who hear me, because some people clearly it's going in one ear and out the other, good luck. For those of you who want that real tantric experience, that's the reason why I'm so deep about this. Some of you don't even know it's like literal. Some of you don't know the reason why it's rare. The reason why less people than more people have spiritual sex is because less people than more people are spiritual. Less people than more people actually live spiritual lives. You put your lifestyle in order in the 6th. The 7th house is when you actually connect, and the 8th house is where it transforms. This is where you get that activation. All right? It is what it is. I don't know about 2 minutes. If you're having sex for just 2 minutes, you must be having sex with the wrong people. But it is what it is. Really keep this in mind. Don't just think about intercourse. Think about who you are. Uranus retrograde, don't just think about sex. Who are you? What is your sexual identity? For real. Some of you may decide, I don't have a sexual identity. I'm here to get this money. I'm here to do this work. That's cool. Let me be real. The peace deal is going to be real. You are screwing yourself. It doesn't matter if you're past 40 or 50. If you are not actively having sex in your life, you are stunting your own spirituality. That's it. Me, I have to take my advice too. I can't joke to you guys about how I have dry spells. I have to actually actively find someone I can connect with spiritually on that level. And that's that. So with that being said, with Uranus retrograde, really be in a position to where you show yourself that you are way different than you have ever known. Okay, the whole purpose of Uranus retrograde is to rapidly evolve your sense of self and how you identify yourself, because this is going to move into Taurus 2019, and that's when we're going to start seeing machines on plants. Uranus and Taurus, people are going to be inventing things that just like bring us to the future, and that can only happen if we have evolved ourselves. Do you still feel like you're a useless human? Do you still feel like you're powerless? Like I know some people who realize they're connected with the Nordic gods. That's Uranus and Aries, like evolving how they see themselves. So really, you know what I'm saying? Becca Magic said, did you know you can make love with your clothes on? There we go. That's true sexuality. That's true sexuality, where you don't even have to get naked with someone. You could have that intercourse energetically. This is where we're trying to go to, all right? George Infante was right. Porn has messed up the early mid-90s kids so bad. Pornography was a tool for the dark forces to get people to have less self-control. Although, I mean, if it wasn't with porn, it would be someone else. But it is what it is. And yes, sex with yourself does count. But not just because, if you're just doing this to like do a quickie and like release that pent-up energy. The reason why masturbation is important is for those of you who are celibate and you let that sexual energy build up so much and just suppress it and don't release it, that's why it's bad. You have to know when to release the energy, if anything. So that's about it. But other than that, Just like anything in life, my friends, just like anything in life, just like anything in life, it can be distorted. All right, a toothbrush that's supposed to like clean your teeth could be used to kill people. Does that make the toothbrush bad? No. Shout out to Mia Khalifa. She has Lilith on her sun in Aquarius. So if you want to learn about Lilith, watch Mia, watch Kim K. But it is what it is. Ali said Mia so regardless, shout out to Ali releasing energy after this chat. You're fucking crazy. But regardless, for those of you who have soulmates, for those of you who hard soul work and been through hell and back, or just luckily attracted a soulmate, nice. Now you have someone to practice this sexual work with, all right? And through that, you're going to come in to who you truly are. If you're with a partner, take sex more seriously is all I'm saying. Make sure this is something that you bring spirituality into. That's about it. And if you don't have a partner and if you're single, then it's not the end of the world. You don't have to look for someone tomorrow just because you have to have sex, but just make sure you're actively seeking. Make sure this is not something you're putting on the back because you're too afraid to hop out your goddamn comfort zone. That's all I'm gonna say. Uranus retrograde is going to reveal facets about your identity that you may or may not be ready to know, okay? You have to understand that there are certain constructs and identification themes that greatly tie in to how you take that first step. That's the most important thing, because when it comes to Uranus or Aries, Aries has so much to do with the cardinal action of moving forward. And not only is it moving forward, it has a lot to do with that burst of passion setting forth so much for you to follow up from. Because you're radically defining your identity, the radical definition of your identity has everything to do with breaking out of comfort zones and the box that has been placed on you. Every single day from now till January, as Uranus retrogrades, you're going to have to deal with certain themes that have placed you in a box. This is another reason why I say this is Epiphany City. You have to be, it's almost going to feel like Uranus is direct, because you're going to be put in the same situations before this went direct before, where you might have been intimidated because you didn't know how to stand in confidence with yourself. Now we're in Leo season. So you're going to have the confidence to talk to that person. You're going to have the confidence to sexually express yourself. When you think fire signs, you have to think sex. I'm so serious. So much so that the creation signs are Sag and Leo. I mean, how sexual is Sagittarius? Most of them only think about sex. That's not because they're horny crap tards. That's because they get it. They understand how magical sex is. Seriously. They can be a little bit too extra. But when you think fire, when you think the sexy signs, Leo, Aries, Sag, you have to think sexuality. All right? You have to think that energy and charisma that just, you know what I'm saying? Where you can feel the palpability. This is where this is about to be brought up within you. And it's not going to be easy. Some of you have to deal with old traumatic experiences, and you cannot let it hold you back. You cannot let, just because of what happened in the past, hold you back. You have to be willing to heal through it. Just like people who have been in this position, but they have so much courage in their hearts, they put themselves out there, and now they're a light and a beacon to other people who have been traumatically abused, who can get through to it. So really keep this in mind. Uranus retrograde is going to be happening from now till Capricorn season into Aquarius, while the North Node is still in Leo. So all I really have to say is you have a very amazing opportunity to revolutionize how passionately you express who you are. And before I get to the cards, I'm going to be doing my North Node or Lunar webinar tomorrow. For those who are not so hip, I will be doing this webinar about the North and South Node, where it falls in your chart, what that means, as far as what it means when it falls on the angles. In this webinar, we'll talk about the North Node and how it aspects other planets, as well as how it may also aspect lightly with others. If someone has, like for everyone who I know that has their sun in Aquarius, they're my destiny. Like they activate my North Node and Aqua hard, have me questioning, oh damn, I probably should connect with them because, you know, even if there's someone that wants to hurt me, they still activate my destiny. So keep that in mind. Another thing that's really important about all this though, especially when we speak of the webinar, we're going to do a special invocation at the beginning and end to activate your destiny. The reason why it'll be activated is because there's more than 3 people that'll be watching, and just us pulling our energy there will really align you more, so you also get supplemented the knowledge of what your destiny means and what you can do with it and the different types of destiny. I still have my lunar eclipse tarot reports. Definitely have had a lot of fun doing those. I pull 1 oracle card, and I also pull a Celtic spread 10 card tarot for you, and that'll let you know what this lunar eclipse is, but also let you know what the solar is too. All right, so definitely keep that in mind. If you want to know where your North Node is and what it means, then you definitely want to purchase the webinar. I have the links to both the report and the webinar below. The last thing I want to leave you with, however, so that you understand at length what this Uranus retrograde transit is going to do. Like, I don't want to sell it short. I could go all like analytical and I could be very, very detailed with this and be like, Uranus retrograde is going to very significantly reveal anxieties towards control systems. Uranus retrograde is going to have a lot to do to opening up how well you could express yourself because of the opposition to Jupiter and Libra. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to screw you all like that. I'm going to tell you the relevant information. Do you want to understand what Uranus retrograde is going to teach you? Uranus retrograde wants to test how much you believe in who you are. Are you a level 99 occult wizard? Or are you just the human being that they labeled you and put you in a box with the mitochondria, with certain systematic organs, and that's it? Who are you becoming? All right. This is I think some of you have put that on the back burner because you're afraid of being weird. This is Uranus, people. This is how I started oh, I'm sorry for the screaming. I got a little bit too passionate. I apologize again. This is Uranus, people. Okay. Like, in order to transcend this matrix system, you cannot get to spirituality before you cannot get to Neptune spirituality before you get to Uranus. All right? Uranus wants to bust you out the system. You are in positions and situations where you actually have to break through old constructs. Uranus is that loner. Uranus is that rebel. Uranus is that rebel, people. I am so about it. I believe in who I am so much. I was like, fuck this. I have to move to Vegas so that I can truly become a rebel. Look at me. I am a true rebel. All right. The nodal webinar is 5 p.m. PST. We're going to do a little bit earlier, 8 p.m. Eastern. But how are you being a rebel? You want to make sure you're utilizing Uranus so that you can break through certain things, you know what I'm saying? Like old gender roles, like discrimination. All right. I'm sorry. But in order for you to break through with Uranus, you have to be willing to be that one person that probably doesn't fit in. Uranus is the evil genius that is trying to bust and renovate certain old systems, all right? And let me tell you, Saturn, especially if you have Uranus in Capricorn, you're supposed to revolutionize work. That's why a lot of Uranus and Capricorns, they work from their phones. Like every job they have is an app that they can have. They're doing things that are revolutionizing the 9 to 5. That's our generation. Uranus in Cap, especially for Uranus in Aquarius or Uranus in Scorpio, y'all are on some different shit, which is kind of weird, especially Uranus in Sagittarius, revolutionizing how you see magic in your life. Regardless of what sign it is, you are going to have every day this transit to, listen, you're either going to fit in or you're going to stand out. It's way much easier to fit in. If you fit in, you could probably get hired for that job. Some of you need to pay bills, so if you stand out, you're not trying to compromise yourself in situations. Congratulations. If you're like that, you're in the system and you're not trying to be spiritual. You're not trying to break through, and you have told yourself that you don't believe in spirit as much as you think you do. Spirit is going to test you. Spirit is going to be like, look at this wannabe spiritual person. I'm going to put them in a situation where every single person in the room is going to make fun of them for doing what they do. Are you going to stand up for yourself and stand out and be like, y'all motherfuckers are the real one, the weird ones? How are you not angry enough about this issue? Or how do you not see this? Are you going to stand up for yourself? Because Aries does not give a fuck. Do you see how I cursed? Aries does not care. Aries knows who they are, and they're going to die for that. That's what you have to do. Some of you are not built like that. And some of you, you're going to fail. Some of you will not stand up for yourself, and you should feel bad. Some of you will stand up for yourself. Some of you will actually show up and show out, and you're going to be so rewarded because it takes guts to do that. It takes guts to be who you know you are. All right? That's the whole purpose of this transit. That's what I did when I had to be like, I believe so much in this astrology. I'm going to drop out of college when I went to Kansas University while I was living in Gardner, Kansas, and I'm going to be an astrologer. And how many people would say that's crazy? It's not a stable position. All right. That's how Saturn gets you. It's not stable. It's not something that could last if you don't do it right. But look at me now. Look at me now. If I deleted that YouTube channel, you would not be seeing me here. I would not be helping all sorts of people from around the world. And that's Uranus. That's Aquarius, collective, connected. All right. If some of you are so, let me tell you how harsh the spiritual path is. The spiritual path is not always going to lead you with the white picket fence and the happily ever after. That's what Saturn promises you. All right. Saturn will create that stability, but the dark side of Saturn is keeping you trapped there. Some of you, you don't want spiritual enlightenment. Some of you don't want to walk that spiritual path. Okay. And it is what it is. All right. And for those of you who are wondering whether you should drop out of school or not, I dropped out of school. I didn't know that I would go back to school. So just because you drop out, it doesn't mean that you can't go back to school when it's right for you. But I am saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, some of you think that walking this spiritual path is going to make you filled with peace. Yes, that's why Capricorn is the devil card. It's going to make you filled with peace, or you're just going to have everything you ever want. I'm sorry, those were lies that the dark forces told you so that you wouldn't really be spiritual, so that you can just find a reason to follow into this prosperity gospel. That's about it. Spring Bee, now I'm studying business. But you know what I'm saying? Some of you aren't truly spiritual. The real spiritual people are the ones out in Syria, all right? I don't believe in Christianity, to be honest. But I don't believe in Christianity. But the Christians getting persecuted in China, in the Middle East, for believing what they believe and standing up, even though I don't believe in Christianity, those are real spiritual Christians. Even though I don't believe in what they believe in, they're being spiritual because they will die for what they believe in. There's nothing more gangster than that. You can't even do that here. Someone tries to kill you, you'll just, no, well, I won't say you, but most people will just switch up and be like, oh, that's inconvenient. Like, that's real spirituality. The type that gets you ostracized, all right? The type that doesn't make you popular, you know what I'm saying? That's the real spirituality. If you're really diehard for the spiritual path, then know that you're not doing this so that you can live happily ever after. That's a lie from the dark forces. The only thing constant is change. So if you're placing expectations that far back, then chances are you have put yourself in situations in this life that are placed off of dreams, expectations, and unrealistic idealizations. And that's why you're going to be disappointed. And you have no one to blame but yourself. That's it. Unless you want to embrace the real spirituality that's always, you know, that takes into account the only change is constant, that takes into account you may die before you realize what it is you wanted. How many people have died before they got to realize the credit they deserved? And people around them were like, you're trash. You're stupid as hell. What the hell? What's wrong with you? You're crazy. You're stupid. Only for them to die, and then for the next generation to realize, wow, this person was a fucking genius. So if you're waiting for some of you are waiting for validation. Some of you, you won't feel like you've been successful until everyone else validates your success. Good luck. You're setting yourself up for failure. That's not what life's about. That means you're not connected with spirit. If this 3D world, the purpose of Saturn is to construct your 3D world so that you can have some structure. Naruto did eventually become Hokage. Amen. All right. So some people get it. But then again, Naruto had plot devices and he was a cartoon character. But still, some people are rare like Naruto, right? But the thing here is Uranus is what takes you out that box so that you're not stuck there. You need boundaries, you need foundation, but you also need to get out that box and escape sometimes. Sometimes you have to escape. Like, escapism is not bad. Forget what these people are telling you. Sometimes you need to escape with Neptune to get out there and regather yourself. If you live your whole life as an escape artist, all right, that's bad. But if it's in moderation, hey. So Uranus retrograding is going to help you listen to Neptune more. You're going to be inspired to really understand how much you have evolved. That's really the key here. And at the end of the day, are you really about this or are you not? You're going to experience disappointment if you have expected certain things to be a certain way, but you did not do the work on yourself to match that. Those of you who've been doing the spiritual work, those of you who've been day after day trying to find answers, trying to really go deep within, and it's going to feel like you didn't know what you're doing. Some of you, you're going to feel like nothing has really happened, right? This is going to be the transit where you realize, oh no, a whole lot has happened. And you're going to see the weights are going to be removed and you're really going to tap into how much you've changed. So this is going to be very positive, and I like that it's going retrograde while Leo is picking up. So it is what it is. The cards that I pull are going to be for each of the signs. Thank you everyone very much for donating in the super chat. Once again, the next broadcast I do, I will pull a special card for you. Now I'm just going to draw the 12 cards. All right. So thank you once again for donating. That being said, for Aries, this Uranus retrograde card, we have the Knight of Wands. So go wild. This is a Sagittarius, all right? This Knight of Wands may actually be someone who pushes you to bring out the meaning of your actions, all right? Thank you, Chad. Much appreciated. And you're going to definitely realize, thank you so much, Sheena. The Knight of Wands is going to really show you how amazing you are. Because there's so many people who suppress you, Aries. There's so many people who give you the doubt. I'm not going to lie. Some of you, Aries, are fucking annoying. But some of you Aries, you get unnecessarily suppressed. And this Knight of Wands is going to snap you back and be like, no, 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 no. You tight. You way too tight to be letting people hold you back. Have fun with this person. Have sex with this person if you can. Taurus, the card we have for you. I was just talking about not laughing during sex, and I just laughed at that sex joke. Taurus, the card we have for you is the High Priestess. So this Uranus retrograde in your 12th house is going to reveal to you the true spiritual nature of your identity. Some of you have really be coming into what it is. Well, the High Priestess is going to show you even more through dreams, but the synchronicities and signs you see will be profound to where you can no longer deny it. Geminis do laugh during sex because sex is something that's supposed to be fun for us. So if we can't have fun, then I don't know why we fuck. I mean, I don't know why we're having sex. Gemini, we have the Empress for you. So this Uranus retrograde is going to really, really highlight the beauty that's evident around you. If anything, the Empress card, you may get someone pregnant or be pregnant. But ooh, what happened to this card? The Empress card is though really speaking in on a lot of harvest and beauty, a lot of very positive things occurring. And with the Empress, I kind of see you really manifesting a long dream that you had. But Olivia is right. I may become a father, y'all. I may get someone pregnant. You never know. Hopefully it's someone I love. We'll see. We'll see. Cancer, the card that I have. For any of you who want to have sex with me, you know, you can call upon my dark twin. I shouldn't be saying this. I'm going to regret this. But if any of you want to call on my energy, you have permission to. Some of you be like emailing me, like, hey, I touched myself to you, and you'll be apologizing. Do not ever apologize to me for touching yourself to me. That is an honor, number one. You have my permission to touch yourself to me. I'm tired of getting these emails. Some of y'all will go at length and apologize, and then I feel bad because then it's like, wow, you really did that? Now I have to make sure you don't feel bad. Like, please. So if you call on my energy, my dark twin will show up. Clarina, people really do that. I've had more than one email. But yeah, if you call on my energy, my dark twin will come up. What my dark twin does, that's another story. But yeah, Cancer, the card that I have for you. If it was like one email that I got, it would be one thing, but I've had multiple. So I'm not saying this to brag. I'm really saying this like, don't feel guilty. That closes chakras. We're not trying to close chakras over here. Cancer, I got the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune for you is talking about, the Wheel of Fortune for you is talking about primarily your fate switching, but this Uranus retrograde is actually going to turn your luck around and take things that were blocked for you and evolve the situation, if I may say so. And yeah, but it's also encouraging you to push your luck. So knowing that you're walking with the Wheel of Fortune, things that you might have been unsure about, push your luck and take a risk. It's probably going to work out for you. Play that lottery ticket if you feel called into it, or do something that you probably need. You know what I'm saying? Leo, we have the Knight of Wands. So just like Aries, all right, this is definitely speaking of you really. No, I'm not, Raven. No, I'm not. Just like Aries, this is talking about you really revving up your passion. I see this as also a Sagittarius as well. And Olivia is right. And I'm just joking. But this is really an influence that's going to like push you to be more charismatic. And I feel like this is necessary because some of you fire signs have been suppressed. Like, you're not really as confident as you normally are. And trust me, This Knight of Wands is a reflection of you being a lot more charismatic. Brienne, my dark twin, is always speaking. I'm just joking. I don't know what's wrong with me today. But yeah, Leo, this is definitely going to, I feel like you and Aries are linked this week. And a Sagittarius might might really play with both of you. So keep that in mind, all right? Regardless, for Aries and Leo, this is really encouraging you to, you're going to gain a whole lot of passion and creative energy. So really go out and especially if some of you are moving too, definitely a card for that. Virgo. You said finesse, you was right. Chad knows what's good. Virgo, we have the 10 of Wands. So this Uranus retrograde is going to make you very dizzy. Chocolate drop, all right. If Kevin Hart didn't take that already, I don't know. But the 10 of Wands, Virgo, you have to deal with a lot of burden. So listen here, Virgo. You need to put your hand up. Every Virgo moon, Virgo rising, put your right hand up. And you're going to vow this with me. I promise, peace dealer, that I will not take on extra responsibility that does not belong to me. I swear to God, Virgo. Virgo, you do something that pisses me off. People will come, lazy ass people will come and be like, can you do this for me? And you think Cancer will be the one who didn't have the balls to say no. Virgo, you'll just do it. Virgo, you'll know that you have no business doing it, but then you'll think about them doing it, and then you'll be like, oh, they're not even gonna do a good job of that. I have to do this for them. Virgo! Virgo! You are already busy enough as it is. Do not let people drop their responsibility on you. This is a promise. Please, please. Libra, the card that I have for you is the Six of Pentacles. Libra, the Six of Pentacles is saying you need to get a shotgun and you need to ask these people, where is my goddamn money? I'm just joking. This is actually great if you need financial assistance. But Libra, there's financial flow coming into your life. Make sure that just as you receive, you give to those who need it and who are worthy of it. But yeah, this is actually really positive because it has the scales too of balance, ironically, and this is going to be a great opportunity to make sure you're balancing what you give and receive from people, all right? Make sure you're not letting people take too much from you. All right, Scorpio. Scorpio, we have the Page of Swords, so, ooh, Scorpio gonna be doing some top rate lurking. This is actually the card of like Central Intelligence Agencies spying on you. Like if you were to look at one of the interpretations, oh, we got the Devil card. We got some obsessive lurking going on. Some of you Scorpios are about to evolve the way you lurk. All right. But yeah, definitely someone's watching you and you got your eye on someone. All right, you just waiting. You just like, I'm right outside his window. Looks like he's about to wake up. God damn, Scorpio. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, the Page of Swords is talking about you receiving a greater sense of information. All right, you're going to receive new information that helps you know how to think. I almost guarantee you're going to gain this information by lurking on someone, and I hope you find what you're looking for. Sagittarius. Oh, and you're going to get lurked on too, Scorpio, but you already know that. You know people stay lurking on you, so it doesn't matter. You just tell them to join the line. Sagittarius. Sagittarius, we have the Seven of Wands. So everybody's about to be on your dick again. And there's really nothing you can do. We even have the Five of Swords. So listen here, Sagittarius. You might have to beat some people up over the head because you keep telling them the truth and then they keep acting like they didn't hear it. And it's like, bitch, I already told you the truth. Like, I already told you 1 + 1 is 2. Stop trying to act, because now it's insulting your intelligence. Now it's just like, do you not believe me? Am I not smart enough to tell you what I said? Don't worry, Gemini is going through it too, but I think it's a little bit more serious for you, Sag. Sag, you just have to stand up for yourself more. You're already standing up for yourself, but it's like, it's not going to let down. Half of these people just want to be on your dick. They just want to sit on your lap, and they just want to fawn over how amazing you are. The other half, they jealous. They talking about you don't know what you talk about, and you just have to beat them over the head like, yo, I already told you what it is. Stop questioning my authority. And do you need me to whip out my, like some of you Sag men need to whip out your dicks, and that's gonna make them go away. Like they won't go away. Just do something crazy. Some of you Sag women whip out your tits, and they'll just be like, oh my God, she's going crazy, and they'll finally leave you alone. Nope, there'll be even more on your dick. There's really nothing you can do. I'm sorry, Sag, but you really just have to keep it up. Like it is what it is. It is what it is. Don't back down, because the pressure is gonna rise. Don't back down. Some people are gonna make you feel like what you're saying is crazy. Don't back down. All right? Whoop out your dick or titties if you have to. Capricorn, the card that I have for you is the 6 of Swords. The 6 of Swords is talking about a positive future. It's talking about you moving away from a chaotic period, especially those of you who have had some, psychological issues. You're finally going to calm down. This is also great for online communication, all right? It is what it is. The 6 of Swords is going to have you really gain a different sense of understanding over how you express your energy. So you're going to find that certain conflicts start to balance. You're going to find that there's more peace that's growing from your situations. It's overall a positive card, and you're headed towards a positive future. Those of you who are traveling overseas, you're going to gain your answer to where you're traveling. And Aquarius, we have the Ace of Wands. Interesting, yet again. Looks like you're going to be the ones whooping out your dick. No, I'm just joking. The Ace of Wands, though, is talking about sparking new passion in your life. And Uranus retrograde is going to be retrograding in your 3rd. So this is going to take the ideas that you think of, implement just like that. Okay, so this is actually really good to pull, Aquarius. Know that this spark is going to happen from you. So don't wait for something to spark. Whatever you want to spark, spark it, and know it's going to spark passionate. Just know that if you wait too long, then the fire will die. So make sure you strike while it's hard. Okay, and finally, Pisces. Pisces, we have the 8 of Pentacles. So the 8 of Pentacles is talking primarily about you working hard at what you do, and especially if you feel like the work isn't doing much, you're going to find that it's starting to pick up, all right? Really stay faithful to this meaningful work, because, the quality you put in it is everything. And it's a really good card, especially if you've been looking for work. You're going to find work during this period, all right? And the card that I have for everyone is the 2 of Wands. The 2 of Wands is saying that you definitely want to be in a position to map out. This is the card with someone with the world in their hands. Really look at your potential. Really look at what it is you want to create. The 2 of Wands is before the 3 of Wands, which has a lot to do. You don't have to whip it out like a Sag, Elisha. You can let your Sag man do that. But yeah, you want to be able to be put in a position to where you see at great length your own goals. The 2 of Wands is saying, look at your vision. Look at everything you want manifested. How does that make you feel? Does everything have to change? Does anything not have to change? So really keep that in mind. Before I end this broadcast, I have a warning. Be very careful of Leo, and be very careful of Aquarius. These 2 signs are on one right now, and they will change your life for the better or for the worst. Okay? Some of you have no choice. You have to deal with Leo or Aquarius, all right? Leo wants to make you in love. I'm not gonna lie. Leo is very evil right now, because Leo wants to open your heart. Leo wants you to love. Leo wants you to be happy in love. There's nothing more evil than that, all right? And Aquarius, Aquarius just wants to play mental tests and games with you, just to see where your head's at. All right, so be very careful. Be very careful for Leo. Before you know it, you're just talking to them every now and then. Before you know it, your heart's open and you're in love. Be very careful. Be very careful. Be very careful. Libra is going to be co-conspiring with Leo, so don't trust Libra either. All right, Libra and Leo, they just want to make life better for you. And Aquarius, they want to mind fuck you. They want to just, Aquarius has always been evil. I will maintain this. Shout out to my cool Aquariuses in the building who, I still know y'all are evil, but you're cool, so it's all good. Be very mindful. Because Aquarius is just going to put you on some knowledge that's just going to blow your mind. And it's just going to like make sense of your whole life. And be very careful. Be very careful. Yes, it is my cat moon talking. All right? I have work to do. I'm not trying to be so in love. I'm out here singing like, yay! I'm trying to be resting bitch face, complaining about my day, making money. That's how I do. It is what it is. Be very mindful. Thank you to everyone who donated on the super chat. All right. I'm not going to pull cards this time, but next time I will be open for donations for that as well. And for everyone who did donate on the super chat, I have 3 cards for all of you, just because I still don't want to leave you with nothing. All right. I have the 2 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, and the Moon. So you have a secret psychic connection to someone that you feel and you know and you don't want to deny. Okay, the secret psychic connection is slowly behind the scenes going to engender more perfect love between you two, and it is what it is. All right. That being said, I love every one of you. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for showing support. You guys are the reason why this is so fun to do. And until next time, make sure you join me for that webinar tomorrow where we activate our destinies